Hello and welcome to the Code Clarity podcast. I'm Jean.
And I'm Rena, and today we're talking about claims. This was an important area when we presented our stats at our annual conference last year. There was an important area that was associated with a lot of risk. GSK have two big cases which resulted in 28 breaches. Daiichi Sankyo, Moderna, Otsuka UK, they've got clause 2s because of their claims that they're making. So Jean, without going through any more waffle, what are we saying are our top tips to all our listeners on how to combat the risks associated with claims?
Right. First one would be know your SPC, because that's that whole thing about all claims have to be not inconsistent with your SPC. So understand what not inconsistent means, and then know what your SPC actually says. Some of them are quite weighty documents. So, if you don't know it and you get caught out, it's too late when you're trying to defend something to then go, oh yeah, oops, the SPC does say that, but we got this other paper that says something different.
Yeah, and competitors know your SPCs as well as you do. So that's the other thing to bear in mind. Okay, top tip number 2.
Then after your SPC, know your data and know your competitors' data as well. So know what you've got, know how to interpret it in line with the SPC that you already know, and be transparent. I would say one of the biggest things that people fall down. People don't intend to be misleading, but they're not transparent enough in the data. So you can make claims on secondary endpoints, but you have to be clear that it's a secondary endpoint. It's just being that transparency around what data you're presenting. What are the N numbers? What is the absolute risk? It's all about allowing the HCP to weigh it up.
There are so many cases about that where you sort of pull your hair out and go, if they'd just been transparent and said what
it's literally just adding in like 1 or 2 words at the beginning. We would transform how the ruling would go.
Yeah, and we've got a client at the moment who's got some data in the SPC, but it's different data in the paper. And of course, we've stuck to this kind of, mantra that it's SPC is king and everything has to align with the SPC first. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, I would say that's correct. As long as it's, and I mean, you can present that extra data as long as it's not inconsistent with your SPC. So there's nothing in the SPC that says differently, but otherwise your SPC is your kind of gold standard, what you go to.
And our third top tip.
Last one would be, I think, work as a cross-functional team. And I know I hark on about it, but the best team I worked with was medical and marketing, sat down together. They decided from the SPC, from the data, what were the claims that were worthwhile making? What were the claims that we wanted to make and how could we make it? And then we agreed as a team, not only those claims, but we actually agreed their defence as well before the campaign went, this is what we're going to say and this is how we defend it.
Yeah, that's lovely. And I think actually there's so much more engagement and then that makes approval so much easier because we've already decided it's, perfect. Okay, thank you so much, Jean.
Well, thank you. Bye.
Bye.